a ship, a ship. Love can be a stone, a stone, a stone. Love can be a sail, a sail, a sail, taking me to shore, to shore, to shore. Love can
Welcome
be
back
a dream,
to yet another episode in the lure shed.
love
That
can
noise you can
be
hear
a game,
is the lathe. Spinning in the lathe is a corn cob. I'm actually using it as a bit of a drying tool at the moment, just trying to spin any moisture out of the first corn cob. I did get to enjoy eating the corn off the corn cob, so that was a win, I guess. If this works, one of these lures, along with another lure, actually is going to be sent to America to a YouTuber who I follow over there, who has a fantastic channel, Marling Baits. He's after some items for his new shed, so I'm going to be sending him something to hang on the wall, and I figured why not send him a couple of lures from Australia, seeing as he's been an inspiration to our channel, while I'm sending him something to hang on his wall. I'm going to see how I go. I've got 2 full-length corn cobs and 2 short ones, so I've got 4 to try and make lures with. I'm thinking, because it's a corn cob, I want to try and get that corn cob pattern around the outside of it. It's going to be encased in resin, put in the vacuum tank and suck the bubbles out, and try and get resin encased all through the corn pattern. I'm going to do that with some sort of dye in it to try and colour it up and see what we can come up with. It could be terrible, it might come up alright. I'm going to go with surface lures only because I think that's going to be the best way to do minimal work to the lure body, and keep the detail. So sort of a pretty standard symmetrical shape, fatter at the front, narrow at the bottom, slight angle, bib on it, through wire, and hopefully we'll come up with a cool effect. It could be terrible. We could come up with something absolutely atrocious, but hopefully it comes up alright. So come along with me, let's jump into this and see how we go. Now that I've got the corn to this, I'm going to take it and put it in the oven. I want to torch pretty much any bit of moisture out of it that I can. What I'll do then is cut some bits of pipe. Let's stand them in the pipe, and we'll be pouring the resin around them. Putting it in the vacuum chamber, sucking all the air out. Now, as we've discussed with waterproofing in the past, when you suck the air out, whatever else is there takes its spot. So it should suck the resin all through everything that it can. And then we will put it back on here and start spinning the shape that we want. What we should end up with is corn and coloured resin sort of alternating each other in the pattern of the corn cob. Hopefully it comes up looking pretty cool. This is all just trial and error. Then we'll be recoating the outside with clear coat to seal any bits of corn that may actually be touching the outside. Yeah, so that's the plan. We're just going to have to see what we can come up with. Alrighty guys, the corn cob resin lures. It's been a few days. The resin's hardish, hard enough, whatever you want to say. Now I've got to work out, I'm going to cut this off, or am I just going to, I think I want to cut the plastic off. The corn cob is not in the center, even on the bottom. And what I want to do is actually center it on the lathe in the center of the corn cob. I didn't put any release between the pipe though, so it might not actually. Oh no, it doesn't tend to stick to the PVC by the looks of it. Oh, look at the shimmer in that. Oh, I hope these come out alright, eh? Hey, hope these come out alright, eh? Some sort of bogan.
It's my creation. Oh, it's my creation.
Comes out pretty well, actually. Oh, look at that. It's not too bad at this end, but this end, so that'll be plenty big enough lure. Bloody kids. Kids have been making lures. Alex is making this. Look. Alex is 12. He's been out in the shed and he's making a diving lure. He just leaves my tools lying around everywhere. I'm happy that he's out here doing it, and that he's enjoying it. But I wouldn't kill him to put my tools away.
Nothing's too safe, play and create. It's my creation. Play and create. Nothing's too safe, play and create. Well, it's my creation. Play and create. Nothing's too safe, play and create. Oh, it's my creation. Play and create. Nothing's too safe, play and create. It's my creation. Life can be a kite, a kite, a kite. Life can be a string, a string, a string.
That'll do for the lathe for now. I'm going to go flatten the top and bottom and start working on what else we do. This will be a bit unbalanced now. That's the bottom. That's the top, so that's what the fish will see. But I'll bring this down, and then I want to sand it on the lathe so I can try and smooth this shape off. Right, so what I want to do is shape this bit down. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting in your way a bit. You guys are just along for the ride. Slowly sinks. It floats, but only just. It's still got a little bit of moisture in the corn cob, so I'll let it dry out before I seal it, and hopefully that'll actually help it float a little bit. If not, I might have to core it out a little bit and put some something in there that's a bit buoyant just to help float it, because the resin's added a bit of weight. Currently don't have any Lexan. The polycarbonate I got sent to me was just polycarbonate, not Lexan. So I'm gonna have to do a bib, but it just won't be as strong as it should be. So I'll put on this grid paper, the bottom's there. I do a square shape out to about here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.5 squares.
So half, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So if we go there, it's a bit of grid paper, something like that.
Kick it down to maybe a 45 for a couple of squares. That's square. The top needs to come out a little bit longer, so maybe another 2 squares. So I've come out past this by 2, come down on a 45. How am I going to do this? I reckon maybe maybe flat. Oh, flat and up, something like that, something like that maybe, and then go a fold there. You guys went flat. This is what I've come up with, very square. This will be kicked forward, which is an idea I've stolen off a mate of mine, CJ from Thirsties. He's have this little kick forward. I think the kick forward is a good idea because that'll help it paddle. And 2 points, and this is your toe point, and then you put a screw through here, and that stops your bib from being able to spin. Even though I'm going to glue it on, it's just a little bit of added security. So that's what those 2 points are. They're centered. Give us a photocopy, print a couple out, and see if we can't cut and bend one. On a bit of 3mm polycarb. If you heat this too much, it actually bubbles and melts, which is weakens it. So I need to warm it enough to bend, but without sort of messing up the integrity of it. The spotted gum. Something like that, I guess. It's pretty good. It's pretty much what I wanted, actually. Something like that. That's about it. Ah, it actually doesn't look bad to look at. And then that goes on that angle. So then this one on there. Oh, bloody, that's almost spot on. Look at that. So last night off camera, I shaved my beard, or trimmed it. And I also played around with the lure just a little bit. So what I did was I twisted up this, and that's that center eyelet, and I drilled the hole for that. So that'll actually sit in like that. And I marked these holes, the screw hole and the toe hole, and the toe hole hook eyelet for the through wire. So that line should be somewhat in line with that loop. I might have to play around with it a little bit, but what I'll do is I'm going to drill from both ends and try and meet somewhere in the middle, and hopefully meet somewhere through where that hooks through that wire. So that's where we're up to. The hole through here is going to be small, just enough kind of to get the wire through. The toe point has to be tied outside the bib, obviously. I'm going to try and put a little bit bigger hole in the back so that I can tie the back one and push it in, tie it at the back, and then pull it back and then epoxy it. I don't know how that's going to work, but I want it once it's tied to be solid. the wire to be tight, not be able to move back and forwards, obviously. So I think that's the best option. I'm actually pretty happy with how it looks. It looks pretty cool. And we'll see how the finished product looks, I guess, once it's buffed up a bit more and polished. Now from the front, okay, so from the front point of view, I've actually got that. So now I've just got to join from the back. Might actually be close. Feel it hit something. Oh, look at that! Boom! Yep. So that is our through wire, and it's through here. Just back that up a little bit, like that. We need a bigger drill bit, 6mm, is that I can, just like that. Just when I've got this stainless steel screw. So I'll pilot that hole. Alright, so that's piloted. These are just circlip pliers. Because they're round, I found they're actually pretty good for doing toe points and stuff. That's heaps. This is a nice clean wrap. Cut that there. And I should be able to push that in like that. There we go. See, like that. And that means what I can do is try and tie this one as close as I can and then push it back. So it allows me that little bit of playroom. Playroom? Got a little bit of playroom. Love a good playroom. Okay, I reckon I can work some resin with some orange dye down in that. So I'm not going to pull that out. What I'm going to do is go ahead to the next step and put the bib on. So I'm going to glue the bib on with a little bit of orange in it as well, just to sort of blend the front end, because we've cut the corn cob. There's no dye at all. So you can see a pattern through here. So put a little bit in there. That in there. Put the screw through so that I can put some epoxy on its thread without pushing it through the bib. Gives it that orange tinge, which is good. Oh, but I also want to clean it up a bit. Probably give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to turn you guys off just because I don't want to try and twist this other end up and end up moving the bib and then having it set in the wrong spot. So we're just going to leave it for a second. That bib's not going anywhere now. That's about where I want that toe point to finish. Alright, so what I want is that toe point about there. And the idea is I should be able to that front out. Hopefully. Doesn't look too bad. Something like that. That should hold. So get the snippers in. By snippers I mean my side cutters. And then look at that. That toe point is there and that toe point is there. So all I need to do is kind of I think that's about where it needs to be. So what I'm going to do before I glue the back half here and in here with some orange, I'm going to pull that forward, mix up some clear and dob it in that hole and get a little bit running down there, and that will also seal any water getting in behind the bib and into the center of the lure and messing it up. Right, so dob that on there like that. You can see it's starting to run. I've talked about this before. I'm going to grab the heat gun, warm it up, that makes it run. It's worked in, sealed. Right, set. I poured the excess in the back, which I didn't show you, but it's set. There's still enough of a dip in there to put the orange in. So we're going to put orange in here and here. That's what we're up to. Look at that. Probably not as well hidden as the bottom one, but it's still come up pretty good. Bottom one is mint. I'm actually real happy with that. Sit that there for a sec. Alright guys, it's just a matter of letting these cure now. So I'll probably put this on the rotisserie, just so that, because I've got two different points, so as it spins around it should keep it pretty level. Like red will tie in, but silver's got the contrast. Let's go silver. Let's go silver. Angle up. Everything's dry on this now, so teaspoon of this, half a teaspoon of this. Right, give us a good mix up. And start right around that edge. Paint down towards the tail. Man, it actually looks so cool, clear coated. It's the corn standing out. Alright, if it was centered it would look amazing. Sadly it just wasn't quite centered because it's not straight, the old corn. Look at that thing. Shiny. So I've given it a flame and I let it sit for about 15. Then I gave it another coat. So this thing looks sick. It still needs another clear coat after this. Now it's heavy and I've already determined that it slowly sinks without any hardware, so it's going to be a struggle to swim. But I guess it's mainly decorative. Obviously I'm sending it to Nate, so I don't even know whether Nate would want to use it or not. Super happy with the finish. The core the core in the corn cob is no good. What happens is it goes flaky and soft like little flakes of paper. It's no good for putting hardware or anything into. So that core is actually balsa wood. I drilled that out and replaced it. And I've got a demo of exactly how I'll do that on the next lure that I'm building at the moment, because I've just done that. Now, what I've determined is this only just sinks. Because this wasn't centered, there's a bulk of resin here. If this is more centered, to have less resin on it. And also, if I put a bigger balsa core through the center, it would have more balsa wood in it. So potentially, it would be a really, really good lure. And this was the first one I've ever made. And the finish on it, I am stoked with. So I hope Nate, that you like it. I guess it'll probably be an ornament in your shed. If you want to throw it. I'm about to see if it actually swims. I mean, even though it sinks, the bib on it should catch water and keep it at the top. So we're about to see if that works. Oh, now let's see what we got here. Well, it does swim. It just wants to sink, so you're gonna have to get it go. It's the bib that wants to sink. It actually stays on the top. Wow, it actually has such a good action. A couple of hooks on it, I think it'll still work. Yes! Well, there we have it, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign it and give it a final clear coat. And then I've got a couple other things going off to Nate. I'll package it up and send it to them. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Really hope you enjoyed this build. I actually enjoyed making it something different, try something new, and actually the result is it's fantastic. I'm stoked with it, so that's great. I really hope, Nate, if you're watching this, that you enjoy it. Hanging in your shed or actually catch a bass on it, that'd be epic to see from my point of view. But anyway, guys, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to share it, if you want to see more builds, we've got another build coming out soon, a jointed paddler like this. Hit the subscribe button. Other lures, other fishing. We're not just a lure making channel, we do lots and lots of fishing and tutorials and stuff. Guys, we really thank you for being with us, and hope you have a good day. Get out and fish every opportunity, tight lines. Catch you in the next one.